He's a billionaire, a philanthropist, and the man credited with spearheading Africa's mobile phone revolution. Sudanese-born entrepreneur Mo Ibrahim set up his company Celtel at a time when mobile technology on the continent was virtually non-existent.
And he was one of the pioneering entrepreneurs who believed we could do it. He took the risks. He could have lost everything. And that's what's unique about him. He's made his money ethically. He helped build an infrastructure in Africa, which is now world-class.
In less than a decade, Celtel's customer base had spread across 13 countries.
What Mo Ibrahim created could very easily be called the African dream. He built a company from zero revenues to 1 billion in just 7 years, which is phenomenal.
Having left the corporate world, Ibrahim is now giving the money he made from Africa back to Africa. He's got his eye on stamping out corruption and promoting good governance through the Mo Ibrahim Foundation.
If you don't have the right governance, the rest disappears.
He's doing this through the Mo Ibrahim Prize for Good Governance, worth $5 million. It's the world's most valuable individual prize. By putting Africa's good leaders in the spotlight, Ibrahim has set out to rebrand Africa.
Because you guys only know about our bad people. You don't know anything about our good people. We have other Mandelas there you need to know about.
We must show the world that some of them have been wrong, that some of them have misunderstood us.
Born on May 3rd, 1946 in northern Sudan, Mo Ibrahim was the second of 5 children. He had a modest upbringing in the Egyptian port city of Alexandria.
I had a very happy childhood. My family was not rich, was middle class, which in Europe or America would mean working class. But it was a happy environment, friendships. Looking forward, Africa was becoming independent. Every year was a new independent country. We were looking for a wonderful future.
At the age of 18, Ibrahim was offered a scholarship to study electrical engineering at the Alexandria University, followed by a master's and a PhD in the UK.
I meant to be an academic, actually. I'm an engineer by training, and I love engineering. And I was looking for an interesting life as an academic, but then things changed. I don't know, for good or for bad, but they changed.
In 1983, he was hired by British Telecom as their technical director. In fact, it was Ibrahim's team that designed the world's first handheld mobile phone network, but red tape meant the project never took off.
I found life very difficult. In BT, I was treated very well. I was happy. I progressed. We had a wonderful system, but it was a big company mentality, which, in my view, actually, BT also failed to see the opportunity for cellular. At that time, it was the largest company in the UK. Cellular was just an add-on, something there. Too much bureaucracy.
In 1989, Ibrahim left BT, vowing never again to work for a big organization. He went on to set up MSI, or Mobile Systems International.
And we started this company, which went on to design probably half the GSM networks in Europe. We did Singapore, we did Hong Kong, we did Shanghai, we did Moscow, then we branched into the United States, and it was a wonderful experience, because I was not a businessman. I mean, I just have to learn as you go on. I'm just an engineer trying to have fun and do what I know.
In 2000, he sold MSI to Marconi for $916 million. In the process, Ibrahim set out to bring mobile phones to Africa, leading to the birth of Celtel.
We were probably the largest independent technical company, or technology company in Europe at that time in that field. And we worked everywhere. The only place which we did not work or design networks was in Africa. And we kept asking why nobody is doing Africa. And at the same time, we get requests from Africa, from different countries. Oh, this technology, nobody would like to come and try it here.
I met Mo in the mid-90s. I was the Minister of Communications in South Africa. And the one thing that I was completely distressed about was that sub-Saharan Africa had 600,000 cell phones. less than the suburb of Manhattan in New York. And when I looked at it and said, we got together as African ministers, we said, what is the problem? And when we went back to our government saying there's a revolution coming on, we need investment, they say stand at the end of the queue because we have to build houses and deliver electricity and water and sanitation. Those are the priorities for us as governments. And so we looked at it and said, how do we harness this technological revolution driven by a private sector investment and make it happen in Africa?